Hello, I'm Lineke Lijn, and in this video we're going to draw a lion. And it's the kind of lion that's jumping out of the grass to its prey, and it's a real actionful drawing. So, let's get started. This is the lion as we're going to draw it. And what we will be taking care of is, of course, the rib cage. And also you have to keep in mind how the paws are heading forward. And there's a lot of mane going on the head, so I keep in mind the skull of the lion. Also the hind legs, and he's pushing himself away forward towards his prey. And also there will be a lot of grass going on, and of course the tail, you can make that go any direction you want, straight up or slightly bowed. That's all for the artist. But what I keep in mind is the forward direction that the lion is jumping in. For this study I've taken a colored paper, and that's great fun because later on I will also be using a little bit of white for the highlights of the sun that's hitting the lion. For starters, I put in the head and the front paws. Also the highest top of the body, and then a sloping line towards the hind legs. I make some wrinkles in the skin, and then I make the tail pop out. The tail is at the base slightly thicker than at the point, and at the real tip of the point there is the dark hairs of the tail. You can also see the outer leg. The belly is beneath the two legs. Then I put in the bottom line for the belly. Here's the tip of the mane, and about here is where the eye will go. So I put that in real soft. Also the nose. This is the part where the whiskers go, and then the mouth is just underneath that, and the chin is quite firm. From the chin down there will the mane come out. Here I put in the line for the face, and from that face the mane will come out. What we can also see is the ear, of course. It's dark in the middle, and then there's a little edge, and you can also see the other ear. From behind the ear the manes come out. Part of the manes are attached to the ear itself, and on the highest point of the lion the hairs usually are slightly darker. Every lion is different, I've noticed, and well, some have a lot of mane, some have not so much mane, but all the male lions do have mane. The paws are tricky too. They have very harsh, thick paws, and I really had to study a lot, and I've even watched my own cats for how the paws are built up. The outer front leg is stretched out. So what I do is I put in the thumbnail, and from that I build up the rest of the paw. You can see the cushions of the paw because the front leg is pointed forward, but you can look just underneath that paw, so you can see the underneath of the front paw. I zoom in a little bit for the head and those front paws because there's a lot of detail going on. Here you can just see the outer eye and also the points where the whiskers will come out from. From the face, the mane pop out. Give the paws a little bit of dimension, I now place in the shadows. There are a lot of muscles going on there, so I simply have to make sure that there are shadows on the paws and also on the body of this lion. Here, behind the elbow, there's a lot of shadow going on. And also here for the loins, there's a shadow casted. And that gives the body some more dimension. And it seems to have muscles going on. Here, for the tail, I draw in a little bit of wrinkles. And this line has the tail tip is darker than the rest of the tail. Here for the inner paw, there is also a dark shadow. For the tip, I simply follow the way the body goes and move the shadows in the direction of the body. Underneath the mane, there's also a lot of shadow, so I also place this in already. Now that I have my elbow correct, I can put in extra dark shadows. So I can make this line a little bit darker and then ease the shadow over the shoulder. Make sure to carefully put in the dark shadows underneath the mane. Now I know where the mane will stop and where the body starts. So this is my first setup, and what I do now is I take charcoal, natural charcoal, and I place in already a little bit of the grass. Charcoal is very quick to draw with, and because I always want to see quick result, to see where I want to be, where I want everything to be, I use this for the grass, and it also has a nice structure that is grass-like. Now I want this charcoal to be really good attached to the paper. So you can rub it in with your fingers or use a little bit of cotton and make sure that the charcoal is connected to your paper. You can also fade it out for the parts that are farther away, and you can press a little bit softer for the front. Now I've taken my eraser pencil and I erase a little bit of the charcoal so that the highlights of some grasses will pop in front of us. This is the eraser, and this is a simple white colored pencil. Now I can put in the highlights in the grass that is in front of us. The fun thing about drawing on colored paper is that you can use the white, and the white stands out from the colored paper. Now I can put in all white where the sun hits the lion. So I use this white everywhere. What I've used for the grass, I also use for the face, the mane and the body of the lion. So even on the paws and on the rest of the body, the white is used to make it look like the sun is hitting some parts of this lion. I also have some interesting news. For a short while now I am a member of Deviant Arts, and I've placed this picture of the lion for a free download. So should you want to draw this lion, you can easily download it. So all you have to do is look below this video, and you can easily click on the link and you can download this drawing of the lion for study purposes. And it's free, of course. What I'm now doing is I've taken my 2B pencil, and now I can put in the detailed lines of what I'm certain of now. Now I can make the main move around. I also use this 2B pencil for the darkest shadows. Shadows that are casted underneath the mane, and also the shadows for the rest of the body. On the withers, the mane often are a little bit darker. Now and then I switch back to my white colored pencil. So I make the simple pencil and the white blend together. It's really starting to look like a lion now. So what I do next is I take my filling pencil and I use that for the very little details. I've closed it up here for you so you can watch how I use this pencil for the little details. Even the whiskers I place in. The filling of this pencil is also a 2B. It breaks very easily once you press too hard, but it gives a very nice dark detail. You can use it perfectly for the drawing of hair. I also use this pencil for the sharp lines, for extra detail. It's for the contour of the body. And the face itself I also make a little bit darker than the mane is. It often is. As I said, every lion is different, so, well, this one I just made like the one I like, but they are all so different from each other, just like every cat is. I'll pay a little bit more attention to the front paw. You can see the cushions and the inner toe. I also make these sharp lines for the tip of the nails. I think it's a nice detail to give the front paw the extra nails. Now I will head on for the grass. I use a little bit of powder and I use that for the darkest shadows in the front, and I also use it a little bit for the shadows that are on the lion itself. It gives that body that soft feel. Once you've been rubbing, you will lose a little bit of the detail, so then I place them back in. Now it's time for the very front parts of the grass. I need that to be extra detailed because I was imagining this lion had been lying in the grass for maybe half an hour to wait for its prey. Now that he sees something he wants to grasp, he pops out of the grass and he is getting in action. So for this action drawing, I really need that grass where the lion is diving out of. Here, behind the lion, you can also see the grass where it's jumping out of. You can even make some flowery effects of the grass that's in blossom or something, and well, it gives it that extra nice detail. really keep it quite simple. And there are just little dots that I place on the tip of the grasses. When you have some pollution going on, or things you've been rubbing on your drawing, you can always erase that. As you can see, I keep the darkest in the front. So far this study, I will draw on a little bit longer, but I hope anyway that you like this drawing, and I wish you all the luck with it. Hope to see you in one of my next movies. Take care.